was thinking about the better days. My youth so happy, my hair so nappy, had an afro.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to Nightcap. This is the 6th Nightcap that you've been joining me this season, and I love doing it because I love talking to you about Arsenal. Let's get down into some facts and stats. And I'm not going to do player ratings today because I already did that when I was live on the stream. For those of you guys who missed that, I will put it up on the screen. But overall, what I'd like to do today is talk about the performance of the players over the season. I think that that's what we really need to talk about. We need to kind of say it's 6 games. This was supposed to be the big 6. And we all made our predictions. And I think that most of us were in the ballpark. When I think about, shout out to you, Emerson, shout out to you, 18. When I think about where everybody is, most of us was in that 11, 12, 13 points ballpark or 14 points ballpark. And that's exactly where Arsenal are. So I think when you hold your hat on your head, you think really tough schedule, 6 games, 4 wins, 1 loss, which was a wonder goal and a draw, which was against Manchester City, which was a tough game, guys. It was a tough game. And so I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with that. From here on, we push on and we move forward. But what I want to discuss, first of all, I've got a bone to pick with social media. And this isn't really against Arsenal fans. This is really against the pundits. Everyone has been saying about we always get drilled at Newcastle. About 4 or 5 podcasts I've been listening to. And it's Arsenal always get done down there at St. James Park. And I'm just like, I don't remember that. Because I remember a couple of years ago, 2023, when I was actually saying to you guys, one of the best games Arteta has managed was when we went down there and we won 2-0 and we shut them down. And Eddie Howe at the end of the game said, we couldn't get anywhere near them. We couldn't get close to Arsenal. And so I remember all that stuff. So when I hear, shout out to you, Andrew, what's going on? Big up to you. So when I hear, I forgot to put you lot's comments on the stage, right? Comments are on now. So when I hear social media and BBC and TNT and Sky and TalkSport, when I hear them say, Arsenal always have a bad game when they go down there, I'm just like, what are you talking about? I don't see that. So I pulled up the stats, knowing me, guys. You know me, man. I've got to get the facts right, yeah? And so the stats are, guys, in the last 6 away games at Newcastle, we've won 3 and lost 3. So straight away, they've not had the better of us there. Secondly, over the last 10 games, this is over a 5-year span, we've won 6 games, drawn 1 and lost 1. So when I looked at it, I was like, what are they talking about? Arsenal always have a bad game when we go there. And guys, remember the 1-0 loss that we had there where it was completely controversial and the goal should never have been allowed in any way, shape or form. Like, okay, so we didn't go there and deserve to win. I'm not saying we deserve to win. But there's no way Anthony Gordon's goal should have stood. And that's what we got to deal with. And plus, and I know people's talking about Gabriel elbow, but look, there was 2 instances with Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes, which we should have had an advantage with them going out to 10 men twice. And we didn't get that call. So when Gabriel did what he did, I was like, oh, okay. Funny how, innit? People change a narrative when they get a taste of their own medicine. And so that's what I was really like. And look, guys, let me pull this away now. I was just tired of the narratives. There's a lot of guys. We need to celebrate our team, man. We need to talk about how good these boys are because Arsenal right now, they're just on it. They're just on it, guys. I said in my closing statement last week that if Arsenal are going to win the league this year, it has to be on the front foot. Yeah. It can't be in the discrepancy all the time. I know why we set up defensively, and I agree with it to a point, especially when you go to Anfield. You know, when you go to some places where it's hostile, you want to set up your team so you can't be beat. And guys, remember, we've allowed 1 outfield goal against us all season. Yeah, One. And thinking about how good Newcastle was, Newcastle had get 2 clean sheets. No, they didn't. They had 4 clean sheets in their 5 games. It was only Liverpool in the 3-2 loss that scored goals against them. In a game Liverpool should never really have won. But this was the game, guys. Newcastle had had 4 clean sheets out of 5 games before that game against Arsenal. So everything was against us, and the pressure, Liverpool losing, it was such a professional performance by Arsenal. I could not be more proud of this team, guys. It was such a professional. I mean, the haters, the hate watchers, and those pundits against us just couldn't wait for us to fail. They could not wait for us to fail. And the way we took that game, it was just, after 12 minutes, Gyökeres latched on to Jacob Murphy's weak back pass, knocked the ball back. We need to talk about the penalty now. And then he knocked the ball forward. Pope's right knee going down collided with Gyökeres. They were talking about he touched the ball. Now, guys, whether the goalkeeper touched the ball or not isn't the case. The case is, did you impede a player from a goal-scoring opportunity? That's it. That's all I want to ask. Because if this was outfield and a tackle was made and it was studs up showing and you made contact with the ball, there's no way you're getting away with it. That's a free kick, a red card, and whatever. It's regardless of what happens with the ball or the contact. If you have impeded a player, that's a foul. And in all the instances, what makes me laugh is like the narrative that you see coming out of this, where people are just wrong and strong. And it's just like, how can you not see it? It's like the header with Saliba last season, where Saliba headers the ball and then both players' heads clash. I've never seen a penalty given with that before that incident, and I've never seen a penalty given since. It's only because, let's think of a way how to stop Arsenal. And so you just make up the rules as it goes along. Can they not see their own injustice? How are these guys going to sleep at night? Knowing they look foolishness. They look stupid. Because it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. And I guarantee you, any other team does that, if it's City, Liverpool, Chelsea, or whatever, they're getting a penalty, guys. If that's Salah going down like that, he's getting a penalty all day long. We're not even trying to dispute that. Andrew says yesterday demonstrated the depth and strength of the squad. Yeah, it did. And you heard me talk about Arsenal being bulletproof. Oh, they really are, man, because this team has been built to last because they failed so many times. Cam is saying doomsday comment. Yeah, so I was talking to David on the forum, and I said, if any of you guys read DC Comics and you know who Doomsday is something they created, and they killed it over and over and over again. And whatever killed it, when it became alive again, it was annulled by whatever killed it. So if you try and shot it with a bullet and then it recovered from it, it would build up a resistance to that bullet. So a bullet wouldn't be able to kill it anymore. And over a time, when this thing has been killed 1,000 times, it just becomes completely unkillable. That was, and I know some of you lot don't read comics, but I just tried to explain it the best way I can. That's basically Arsenal right now. Arsenal have been riddled with a weak squad, with injuries, with everything that you can think of under the sun. They've been riddled with it. It's what's hurt the team from winning a title over the years. And they have shored up every single weakness in that team. There's not one weakness. They have the strongest defense. They have the best squad. They've got a prized midfield. They've got the number 10 it creates more chances than any other player. The striker has scored more goals than any other striker in the last 2 years. 97 goals in 104 games or something. They have literally got no weaknesses. And they've come through the toughest schedule. When we looked at strength of schedule in the summer, Arsenal was at the top. It's like strength of schedule. Arsenal had the hardest 6 games out of any team in the league. And we've come out of it 2 points off the top. That's madness. Guys, we are resilient, bro. Imagine all that had gone away from us. Yeah, and remember, guys, I talked about this before. The biggest weakness last year was 14 draws. If you won half of those, so if you won the 7 out of the 14 draws, that would equate to 14 points, which was good enough to beat Liverpool for the title. That's it. Regardless of all the injuries and everything else, and playing with no Kai Havertz for 6 months. We had no striker. We had Mikel Merino for half the season. All the injury problems. No Saka for 3 months. No Odegaard for 3 months. And we still was mathematically capable of winning that title. And this game, I mentioned that because this game is a game, guys, that we probably wasn't going to win last season. This last season would have been a loss or a draw. Not necessarily a loss because we were always coming back into the game. But this game last season would have ended up in a draw. But where they are now, guys, they're winning these games. This is what Liverpool was doing last year. When you're meant to lose, you draw. When you're meant to draw, you win. That's how you win a title. That's how you get over the line. And looking at this team right now, guys, that's where I can see us. That's where I can see them. And so, look, I don't talk about the penalty. Don't talk about where they were. But, guys, this was probably the best football I see Arsenal play this season. The chances from Eze, the saves from Pope, Trossard hitting the woodwork. Guys, we could have had 3, 4, or 5 goals against Newcastle. Against a team that had 4 clean sheets in 5 games. And funny enough, guys, all 3 of the goals yesterday were scored from set pieces. But Gabriel, what a powerful move. And guys, look back at the goal. Yeah? Saliba is the one that shields Pope from making a play on that ball when the cross is put in. When the corner comes in, Saliba acts as a shield to stop Pope from getting a finger to the ball. So it's basically whatever red shirt gets a head on it, that's going to be a goal. And then it was Gabriel. So that's the madness in it, guys. Let me actually take this down because there's something else I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to get your opinion on this as well. Where Arsenal are now, guys, is they're favourites. Arsenal are favourites. Let me see if I can pull this up. Is this it? I think this is it. And the funny thing about this, guys, is Arsenal were favourites before the game even started. Yeah? When I started the stream, and here it is, guys. When I started the stream, I looked at Sky Bet and Bet365, and I was like, what is this? Huh? But guys, Arsenal are favourites. I think it's, what is it? It's, let me move this out of the way. It's 13-10, Arsenal are favourites. Liverpool 17-10, then Man City 5-1, and then Chelsea 33-1. But guys, Arsenal are favourites because they have the best defence. They have the best squad. And just the way that they shut teams down defensively. Liverpool, right now, have not been coasting through their wins. They won 5 out of 5. But it's the manner of which they won them, guys, which was the inconsistency where you said to yourself, they can't keep this luck up anymore. 3 of the games they had won in injury time. And everything had to go their way. And by the way, guys, we got 7 players out injured. Liverpool, up to now, don't have an injury. What's going to happen if Van Dijk gets injured? What's going to happen if Salah's out for 3 months? We don't know. Liverpool have not had to deal with any of that adversity. And I believe when they do, when they have these problems, when it does come up on them, they're going to struggle. I think they're going to struggle. But Palace opened up a can of worms, which we've all been seeing all season long. Like the rub of the green has just been going Liverpool's way, and they cannot keep that up. It happened all throughout last season. It was amazing the run they had. But this season, guys, there's no way they can keep that up. And the teams are just too competitive now. It's getting to the stage now, guys, where you got to watch who you're playing every weekend. This is the Premiership. You can't hide, man. There's talent all over the league. Don't matter who you play. Look at Spurs. They were in the top 4, went down to Wolves, worst team in the league. And they couldn't do nothing. They were at home. They couldn't do nothing against these guys. That's just the nature of the Premier League, guys. It's the hardest league in the world. So, guys, what I wanted to talk about is just reviewing each player for this season. Yeah, because how long have we got? We've gone 15 minutes. So now I just summarized over the game. We can't finish there. I got to keep you guys company a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just talk about each player in general. Just to remind you guys, there's the player ratings from the game. Let me get rid of the bookies. Let's get rid of that. Let's put this back up here. Yeah, but it was so good enjoying that game, enjoying the win. Just absolutely brilliant stuff. And elation. And not just that, guys, but how are all the haters feeling? All the people that wanted us to fail. How are they feeling right now? That's what makes this feel even more the most sweeter. And some of it I don't get, guys. It's like, so hold on, you want Liverpool to win again? You want Man City to win again? Do you want Chelsea to win again? Like, where are our rivals coming? Because, guys, I knew when Man City was winning them 4 titles in a row, and when we couldn't win it, I was like, anybody but City. Like, Liverpool win it, please. I was saying Liverpool win it. So what I don't understand now is why everybody is against us. I don't get it. We ain't won a title in 20 years. Everyone's against us. And I don't feel that was never the case with Liverpool. Remember, everybody was saying Liverpool hadn't won a title in 20 years. And then people was like, the neutrals was like, yeah, I would love to see them win the title. There's no neutrals out there saying, I would love Arsenal to win the title. What is going on there? It's just madness. I don't get it. Right, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through my ratings for the entire seasons for the 6 games. That's not the ratings that's on here. So you know what I should do, guys? I should actually change these, shouldn't I? Because that would be really confusing to you guys if you saw that and you're thinking what the ratings are. So give me a second, guys. Let me just add in my ratings for the season. Let's have a look. I don't know how we're going to get through this. Let's give them 7.5. I don't know how we're going to get this because there's a lot of guys in here. 7.5. Yeah, so just bear with me for a second, guys. 8. And then I'll pull it up. I should have thought about this before I actually started the stream, but now I think about it, showing you those figures on there is just only going to confuse you. So let's have a look here. Declan. I got a whole heap of people in there, man. I didn't think that through, did I? Odegaard. Rice, Eze. Let's add everything in here and then see where we go. Right. I think that is that. I think that's, can we go ahead with that? Yep, I think we can. Right, okay, let's do it this way. Let's do this. Okay, right, let's try and go with this. 7. And then the ones that are not there, guys, I'll just make up. Right, okay. So this is my rating for the players after 6 games. And there's a couple of names not there, but I'll just make it up as I go down on the end. So David Raya, guys, I've given him a 7.5. He's got 3 clean sheets in 6 games. But the most important thing, guys, is he has a 90.91 save percentage. Guys, we've never seen save percentages in the 90% before. David Raya, over the last 3 years, has the highest percentage of saves in the last 3 seasons. So that would be, 120 games or whatever, at 77.9%. The goalkeeper who's second behind him is Martinez with 68%. So David Raya is the best by a long way, by 11%. Yeah. But this season in 6 games, he's got a 90.91 save percentage. Do you know what that means? Guys, if you shot the ball 100 times towards him, he would save nearly 91 of those shots. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And so I think his distribution has been a mixed bag so far this season, but I'm going to give him a 7.5. I think he's been nothing short of fantastic. Urian Timber, I'm going to give him an 8. Look, he's enjoyed a fine start to the season. He's contributing on both sides of the ball, defending. His angles is brilliant. He just shuts off on one-on-one duels. Going forward, I noticed in 2 games when he wasn't 100% fit. Going forward, he was struggling a bit there, wasn't he? 2 games when Madueke was there, he never supported Madueke. But, bro, Madueke don't need no support, you know. Madueke's not like Saka, where he's dependent on the 1-2s and the overlapping. Madueke, he don't need any of that. He's a one-man wrecking crew, he is. So with Timber, all that taken into consideration, he is topping every single right back in the league for clearances and completed passes and tackles won. So he is right now the number 1 right back in the Premier League with the eye test and statistically. Mascara, I'm going to give Mascara a 7. I think I know he's got 7.5 up there, hasn't it? But I might have to take him down to 7 because the last 2 games against Port Vale and Newcastle were really shaky. But before that, he was really good. And he plays the ball, guys. He's fearless. He can distribute the ball as well. He passes really well out the backfield. He tracks the ball well in the air, good clearances. He takes good angles on one-on-one duels. When you see an attacker running at him, he never gets left behind because he's got quick first step. He can judge the angles and always puts his body in the right positions. He's just fearless, as I said. But yeah, there's lessons to be learnt, though, for the 21-year-old. So I'm going to give him a 7. William Saliba, I'm going to give him a 7.5. He hasn't been at his best, but he's dominant in the air. He's winning 71% of his aerial duels, which again leads the league. We got a lot of our players leading the league. It's the best defense in the league, isn't it? So it's to be expected. He's completing over 6 clearances a game as well. So if you're a manager of an opposing team and you're looking at the matrix for Arsenal, and you're seeing all these stats, and you're like, guys, we can't hit long balls over against Arsenal. We can't, because statistically, Saliba's is like a Patriot missile. Anything we try and bomb over there, he's just going to take it out. That's essentially what he's doing. It's making us so difficult to play towards. Like, you can't do long ball business against us. So you have to play through us, which means going through that midfield, which is extremely difficult because we're press resistant and you can't overload us. We're so good there. We just suffocate teams. And William Saliba is a big part of that. But in terms of possession, guys, he's slightly behind his career average. So I'll give him a 7.5. Gabriel, I'm going to give an 8. He's just been a monster, man. And he's only won a small percentage of his aerial duels, but I've noticed that he leaves most of that to Saliba. When the ball comes up high into the box, Saliba's the guy who's going to clear the ball. So it's like Saliba, it's like a 1-2 punch. Saliba takes care of all the aerial threats, and Gabriel takes care of all the ground threats. So when I look at Gabriel now, he leads the league in ground duels. He leads the league in block shots per 90 minutes. Offensively, he's now scored 18 goals. That's 6 more than any other defender in the league right now. 18 goals. Do you remember, guys, the days when defenders and centre-backs used to go their entire careers and only score 5 or 6 goals? This guy's got nearly 20 goals as a centre-back. And he's only 26 years old. So, bro, the night is still young when it comes to this brother here, man. Ricardo Calafori, guys, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. He started the season probably our best defender in the first 3 games. He's been a real threat going forward as well. He's managing 3.5 touches in the penalty area, in the opposing box. So he's doing really, really well in terms of the inverted stuff. And he's contributing defensively. And that's the thing, guys. This isn't, the Zinchenko situation where the guy was part of our build-up play, but then defending, he just couldn't do it. And so, look, he's a solid player, and everybody now gets it. No one's saying Miles Lewis-Skelly. No one calling for Miles Lewis-Skelly to play at left-back. So everybody gets it now. Martin Zubimendi, guys, I'm going to give Zubimendi a 6. It's been difficult for him to adapt to the Premier League so far, to the point where I talked to you guys in the summer, and I mentioned it plenty of times. I said Arteta's going to try him in a single pivot. But we all know, guys, nobody can do what Thomas Partey can do. Nobody in Europe can do what Thomas Partey can do. Fact. And this guy's come in and he's tried. And Arteta's like, nah, that's not going to work. So now he's playing him alongside Declan Rice. And I said this before. Rice has now been playing a lot deeper, more so than when he played with West Ham, when Souček was the number 6. And Rice now has the free reign to do what he wants to do to affect a game. And the Newcastle game showed that in full effect. Yeah? But we'll come on to Rice next. But for Zubimendi, little bit of worrying signs. He's averaging just 1 tackle and 1 passes intercepted. That's not great, guys. For a defensive midfielder, that's not great. So we need to see improvements there. But he is a goal threat. I like what I see. He's a goal threat, and I like his tempo. I like his passing range. I like all of that. So I want to see more from him. But that stat of being a DM and you're averaging one intercepted passes and 1 tackle a game, that's not good. That's not good enough, guys. So there's a little bit of work to be done for Martin Zubimendi. But as I said, he's adapting to the Premier League. Declan Rice, this is going to shock you. Declan Rice last year, him and Havertz led the team in tackles, recoveries, and duels. This season, Declan Rice is yet to win a tackle or a possession in the final third this season. But a lot of that is because he's not really in the final third anymore. He's not an advanced 8 anymore. We might even call him a 5. Yeah, someone who plays next to the number 6 in a double pivot and shores it up. Hard to even call him a pivot 8 now, because he just doesn't spend that much time in the box affecting the game. He really doesn't. We have got such good attacking players now that there's just no real emphasis on anyone in the pivot getting forward and being that extra man. It helps, but again, it's situational. It really depends on what team you're playing. If you're playing a really good team, you need to maintain your shape and your composure and your discipline. If you're playing like a bottom or mid-table team, then you can afford to express yourself a little and break your formation and help in the final third a little bit more. So it's very situational, guys. But but he's struggling. I think his passing percentage is 64%, which is the lowest in the team. And I've never really rated him the best passer. But yeah, he's struggling a little bit. But I think he played his best game. He was my man of the match against Newcastle. He was incredible. He was outstanding. I do have his stats here, which I'm going to read to you for Newcastle. I'm not going to put them up on the screen. I'll just tell you. 104 touches, which is the most by an Arsenal player this season. 35 passes into the final third. He won 7 out of 9 duels. So the duels thing was before this game. So the stats haven't been updated yet. Before that, he didn't win a single duel. But he won 7 out of 9 duels. Which equated to 5 possession won as well. He had 3 chances created, 3 tackles, 3 clearances, and an assist. Yeah. So that was Declan Rice, and that was why he won my man of the match. Martin Odegaard, guys, this season, I think he deserves a 7. I think he's done really, really well this season. He got an assist against Newcastle. He's made at least 2.4 successful passes into the opposition penalty area in over 90 minutes average. So that makes him number 1 in the Premier League. But then he's always had the best creativity. He's always created the most chances, not just in the Premier League, but in Europe. So that doesn't shock me with Odegaard. Madueke, guys, I haven't got him down there, but I did write him down. I'm going to give him an 8. Beats his man for fun. Just needs a little bit more end product. But I think he's at the moment he leads in terms of the highest chances created over 90 minutes. He's got the most. Remember, he's played more than Odegaard as well because Odegaard was out injured. But Madueke, yeah, gets an 8. Trossard, I'm going to give a 6.5. Look, I like Trossard. He started him twice, and he's not had a bad game in the 2 starts he's had. He fills a role. Has he been excellent and impressive? No, he hasn't. Has he been steady? Yeah, he has. And as I said, it's the smart play, the intelligence, good ball movement, the experience. He's a goal threat. And he's kind of holding the fort until Madueke comes back on the left. He really is. And dependent on what they want to do with Eze as well. Because remember, Odegaard didn't start. So I think if you are going to go with Odegaard and Eze, then you're probably it's going to be more like a hybrid 2 number 10s rather than playing with a left winger. So, and Trossard does that, guys. If you look at Trossard's heat map, it's not solely out on the left. He plays more centrally. So you're going to want Eze to do that as well, and then have that kind of 2 number 10 dynamic. Mikel Moreno, guys, I'm going to give him an 8. Plays tough. The small little intricate passes. It's kind of he's playing now where he plays for Spain. And we're seeing so many good moments of him where he was affecting the game defensively, where he's just stopping the midfield overloading on us. And then obviously the goals that he provides. He's got it all. He's got it all. And guys, he scored more Premier League goals this year in 2025 calendar year than any other Arsenal player. So let that sink in. For the calendar year, January to September, no Arsenal player has scored more goals than Mikel Moreno. And I believe he's nobody in the Premier League has scored more headed goals than he has as well. So he's a real threat. Really, really like him. I'm a big fan of him. I hear some of you guys in the chat saying, nah, don't start him or put him on the bench or blah, blah, blah. But I'm a real fan of Moreno. I like his game, man. But as I said, guys, Eze, 7.5 for Eze. He's showing us something different now. He really is. Passing range, awareness, vision, and just his ability to get in the box and just impact a game. And it's definitely more threatening from an offensive perspective of scoring goals than Odegaard right now. Odegaard seems to have dropped a little bit deeper and tries to be the puppet master, sit back from afar and then try and wingle everything here. But Eze, man, he just wants to get involved. And I love that. I love that with Eze. And thinking about Saka, guys, I'm going to give Saka a 6.5. And again, he's a slow starter. He hasn't really turned it on yet. But he's like this every season, guys. He always starts slow every season. So I don't see anything changing there from him. He always starts the same way. Victor Gyökeres, I'm going to give Gyökeres a 7. That might shock some of you guys. But I really like what he's doing. Off the ball, he's got 3 goals already. He's also created 2 chances. But I think he needs to, his non-penalty XG is quite low. So he's still adapting to this league. He really is. But I think against Newcastle was probably his best game this season as well. And then I'm going to give Arteta an 8. What a tough schedule that this guy's had to deal with. And you come through it with flying colours, bro. Arteta's come through these first 6 games with flying colours. And I couldn't be more happier. And it seems like it's almost like you're watching him evolve right before your eyes. You're seeing things like the man management. And you're seeing some of the stuff where he's getting wrong, where he changes the switcher. The Man City game, I made a point about that, where he realized he got the team sheet wrong, and you can see him change it at half time when he put Saka and Eze on. And you're just seeing him making these changes, getting more confident in the players that he has in the team. And Arteta's getting there, guys. He's getting there. I know some of you lot still have got reservations about him, but I think I feel good about where we are this season, and I'm really excited. Don't worry about where the bookies are. Let the bookies do the bookies. Right now, we've got 6 games coming up in the league, which are all winnable, ending with Spurs at the Emirates. And I wouldn't be surprised if we won 5 out of these 6 games. I'd love to win them all, but even winning 5 out of these 6 would probably see us being top of the league, because I don't think Liverpool's going to win 6 out of the next 6 games. I don't. But let's have a look where that is. Guys, that's it from me for tonight. Reviewing the game, talking about the penalty, where Arsenal are, and just rated all the players for their contributions this year. I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks for joining me on Nightcap. Peace, guys. Right back at you.